How does consumerism manipulate your desires to drain your wallet? Today, let's dive into this topic. First, let's answer a fundamental question. Why can't you ever save money? The answer is quite simple. Consumerism has instilled in you too many desires for consumption, which means you feel happiness only through purchasing specific products. Enjoying food, camping, traveling, fashion, and beauty are all hobbies that are actually traps created by consumerism. The term material desire refers to a person's inner longing to own a product. Initially, a person's material desire is determined by their basic needs, just like feeling hungry means you need food, or feeling thirsty means you need water. However, with the development of industrialization, the overproduction of goods has led to a significant satisfaction of people's basic material needs. New products, which far exceed the basic needs of human life, urgently need new outlets for desire. Thus, consumerism emerged to provide a perfect outlet for the endless stream of goods. Human vanity and ambition are intertwined. Vanity is the desire to be better than everyone else, while ambition is the urge to possess and control more. Consumerism merges these two deeply rooted traits into a concept of identity, imagining how one should appear, in what scenarios, and what kind of life to live. Various advertisements, magazines, and media define different identity templates. The way to bridge the gap between the real self and the ideal self is through consumption. It seems that by acquiring the ideal identity and possessions, one becomes the ideal self. Consumerism manipulates human vanity and ambition, creating and stimulating infinite desires, which manifest as an obsession with price. When a person's purpose of consumption shifts from meeting needs to showcasing identity, we no longer pursue the item itself, but rather the price it represents. In other words, our desire to buy a product is no longer about meeting our own needs, but about how high the price can elevate our identity. Therefore, when we see the price of an item, we instinctively project our desire onto it. Wanting a mansion worth $1 million surpasses the desire for a sports car priced at $100,000. Similarly, the desire for a $100,000 watch or luxury handbag pales in comparison to the longing for a $1 million sports car. In summary, when the price of an item is presented before us, we cannot resist the desire for it, even if we might not need it at all. This is the underlying logic of consumerism's creation and manipulation of material desire. When a person can no longer define their own desires, but is instead stimulated and manipulated by consumerism, it leads to what Marx termed fetishism of commodities. This fetishism does not bring joy and fulfillment, but rather suffering and degradation. The relationship between people and goods becomes increasingly alienated. Money and products transition from means of fulfilling needs to the ends of all behavior, reducing individuals from masters of goods to slaves of money. Consequently, a person is not only exploited for their surplus value and inner meaning at work, but also becomes trapped in a bottomless pit of desire, trying to compensate for their lack of self-worth and achievement through consumption. Thus, work and consumption form a perfect cycle of exploitation. Daily life feels like running on a hamster wheel, exhausting yet unproductive. To break free from this consumerist cycle, one must reclaim the original relationship with material goods. Here are 3 specific suggestions. First, distinguish between wants and needs. A want is driven by the urge to consume influenced by price, while a need refers to the essential function of the item itself. Before making any purchase, ask yourself calmly, what specific need am I trying to satisfy with this? If no one knew I bought this, would I still want it? Second, understand vanity and ambition. Vanity involves endlessly comparing what you have with what others possess, a comparison that is never-ending and uncontrollable. Ambition allows for comparing your future aspirations with your current possessions, a comparison that can set achievable goals and is relatively controllable. This transforms inner material desire into motivation for personal growth and feedback, viewing consumption as a way to explore, experience, and enrich life. Third, recognize the difference between consumption and creation. A person's sense of security and control comes not from what they can consume, but from what they can create. The sense of satisfaction and accomplishment comes from the subjective process and results of creation. Understanding this can help you escape most consumerist traps, shifting your desire for an ideal identity from wanting possessions to creating value. Through improving your abilities and engaging in continuous creation, you can feel the meaning of your existence and the fulfillment of personal growth. Consumer-oriented hobbies only lead to fleeting joy, followed by longer-lasting emptiness, while creative pursuits provide grounded existence and inner certainty. In fact, indulging in desires is not inherently evil or something to be suppressed. Instead, it is a primal desire and basic need we all have. What you need to do is to see it clearly, understand it, and control and transform it. You can master it and achieve freedom while being enslaved by it leads to a downward spiral. If you found this discussion enlightening and want to learn more about navigating consumerism effectively, hit the like button and subscribe for more insightful content.